When we talk about art history, what do we mean? There are more ways of seeing and knowing than traditional Western art history would have you believe. Here are 4 ways we can rethink our approach to art. Number 1, let's stop focusing on nationality.
Art history has been made through exchange and movement across national borders.
It's important to look beyond national boundaries, to really think about the flow of ideas through artists' relationships and conversations across the world.
It doesn't take into account that we are all complex beings that are made up of various influences. Thinking about artists in terms of a single national origin can often be used as a tool to present a uniform culture or to suggest that there is one way of being from a certain place. And it doesn't take into account the multiple aesthetics, the multiple cultures and stories that make up all the people that come to form one place or one country.
Number 2, it's not always out with the old and in with the new.
A telling of modern art as very much rooted in a notion of a break with what came before does not apply across every cultural context, and in fact we have many artists who actually attune us to a different understanding of modern art that is actually rooted in continuity. There are so many artists who actually are rooting their work in ancestral practices that have been passed on over generations. For example, Uti Piaski, whose practice is based on duoji.
The duoji's can be translated into handicraft. But on the other hand, it is something totally different. It's a holistic concept that deals with the Sami philosophy and values and spirituality.
What we think of as a very modern art approach in the West, like abstraction, has often been there all along in other traditions, practiced across the global majority. Number 3, what do we mean by art anyway?
We have to think about modes of making that have formerly been discredited or excluded by Euro-American art history.
So thinking of art from non-Western cultures as somehow behind or less than, especially when thinking about craft traditions such as ceramics, weaving, drawing and painting on alternative materials.
Take, for example, the Wissa Wassef School of Weavers based in Cairo.
They have developed a collective visual language that is still deeply distinct based on each individual artist, but also very much about questioning this notion of textile practice as decorative or functional.
Number 4, it's time we started learning from art, not just about it. Sometimes art can feel separate to our increasingly troubling world, but it can actually point us towards new or forgotten ways to navigate that world.
Artists like Munira Solh or Shutapa Biswas or an artist like Inji Aflatun attune us to different understandings of feminist art history that move beyond a particularly Euro-American framework of feminism. For example, the way in which Inji Aflatun's work highlights or foregrounds an understanding of liberation and resistance where women's liberation was ultimately bound up with national liberation from the British occupation in Egypt.
Art can show us new ways to care for the environment through playful and unexpected interactions between human and non-human species. It can also help us honour connections with nature that are now lost.
There's a difference between learning about art and from art. When we learn about art, we're focusing on its formal qualities, what it looks like, what it's depicting. When we learn from art, I think it comes to hold a different place in our lives. It's less about facts and it's more about feelings. It's opening up a space for art to be a vessel to how we interrelate with one another and with the world around us. That can develop sympathy, emotional response. It can open us up to knowledges outside of our everyday reality. That's the true power of art.